Hello, God bless. Today I will be reading a repost, As Per Jesus, which was posted on 12/3/2025 from the Mandy de la Paris Seek Heavenly Things channel. God's physical calendar was 3/13 and his spiritual calendar was 8/13. And on 6/17/2025, part 18, God's physical calendar was 5/9 and his spiritual calendar was 9/9. I profess that Jesus Christ is the Son of the living God. He came in the flesh, bled, and died on the cross, and rose on the third day. And Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. So I knew sin was entering in the world, causing the temporal world to be made, contaminating hearts from the very beginning. But it was all a setup from the very beginning. Did you know Adam and Eve agreed to the fall in the garden? But they didn't remember because I allowed their memories to be taken. It was an agreement I had made with them and everyone else inside the original kingdom. We all compromised as a family of Christ to sacrifice our memories for the good of destroying evil in the lake of fire. So I have used the double inheritance spirit on top of the serpent snake, who was the double spirits in the garden, combined together with Lilith and Adamas and Ishtar and Lucifer. But I mixed them up. I put Lilith with Ishtar together in the Lilith suit, and I put Adamas and Lucifer together in the Adamas suit. But those were the fallen ones, mixed with light and darkness inside their spirits. They were not the originals from the first heaven, which was the original heaven, the one that didn't have the fallen line, the one that stayed pure. And that is because before I created the fallen line of duplicates in the second heaven, they used to be good. The original creation is still good in heaven. But their fallen duplicates that I have created, they have the fallen spirits inside of them because they were mixed with light and darkness. So there were a total of 3 spirits inside of Adamas because my spirit, Yeshua HaMashiach, was used as the light part to warn Eve in the garden and the Olam world. And the other 2 spirits were Adamas and Lucifer, inside Adamas with my spirit on top, trying to warn Eve to recognize the darkness after she tasted the fruit and gave it to her Adam. And Adamas was created as another duplicate spirit of Lucifer, who is another duplicate of the fallen line of Lucifer. But Lucifer had all the fallen lines of light and darkness inside him, matching the spirits and the particles created with his duplicate spirit, which was of light and darkness as well, because it was a part of the evil doppelganger line. And I was using all of that to show all the fallen lines in the deception in the garden and the Olam world. That was showing the fall of mankind, and that is what I was using the fallen lines for inside Adamas and Lilith suits, lining them up with the same gender spirits in the garden and the Olam world to show the fall in the beginning, so I could redeem the fall in the end. So Adamas and Lilith tempted the original Eve in the garden, not the fallen one. And Lilith helped tempt Eve with her seduction. And Lilith is also Ishtar, because Ishtar, she was another fallen duplicate of the Eve doppelganger line. Because Ishtar held all the fallen lines as well for mankind because she was Lucifer's soulmate, the duplicate one, not the original one in heaven, and that is because he was her rib. So they knew that Eve was pure because she was created from the purest light, and the resonating light was inside her. So they wanted to take her light and let her fall to darkness, since she wasn't half light and darkness like them. Because she was the original creation, she was made in God's love as his masterpiece for all soulmates. So they wanted her to fall and not be pure any longer. And that was because they were jealous of her. They wanted her light because they knew the light had power, and they knew Eve was one of the souls that was created with God's power, which is why she had the resonating light inside her. And they knew if they seduced her and tempted her with this delicious fruit, who wasn't Adam, her rib, that she would fall and experience darkness, so it would dim her light and transfer some of her light inside them, giving them power with her energy going into them. because she was made with God's power and energy. So when she exchanged herself with them, she would be transferring that light power to them, and that would cause her to fall in darkness. So when I, your Father in heaven, was creating the fall and the deception in the garden by allowing it to happen, I made sure all of the fallen spirits were used inside them to reverse the fall of mankind in the end, when I purified all the darkness, turning them back to light in the end, to save the fallen duplicate line, to make them the light again with no darkness. You see, I was setting up the beginning so I could save them in the future. So I was the one who said to my pure Eve in the garden, who was the original Eve, I said to her certain words to wake her up when I used the double inheritance spirit on Adamus on top of the snake. And I said to Eve, who told you you would surely die? I used the serpent snake, but my spirit was on top guiding her so she could recognize the darkness that was pretending to be an angel of light, deceiving her after she indulged in the fruit. And after she ate, and then she called on her Adam to eat the fruit as well. And as they were eating the fruit together, enjoying the fruit, that is when I spoke to her and said, who told you you would surely die? My frequencies woke her up when I said that to her. Something jolted her spirit as she recognized my voice. As she was eating the fruit and she realized darkness was in front of her after she ate. But you see, I didn't speak up and tell her that until after she ate, until after Adam ate, because I needed the fall to happen to lure evil in the temporal world, and she and her Adam agreed to the fall by her own and his own free will, before their memories were taken away. But then when I spoke those words, the frequencies resonated inside her heart, and she received my voice, and then she was able to remember and get out of her darkness and realize darkness was all around her, trying to beguile her and trick her. But I never truly let the original spirit of Eve and Adam fall, because I created the duplicate line of the fallen, because I knew the deception was coming in the garden and in the Olam world, so the temporal world could be made. So before Eve tasted the fruit with Lilith and Adamus, or Lucifer and Ishtar, because I had their spirits inside of the suits, I switched Eve's original spirit out to the fallen line of Adam and Eve, as I created as one. But I just put Eve's fallen spirit in the original Eve, so it wasn't really her falling. It was the fallen duplicate spirit now inside her, and no longer the original. So the original stayed pure, and they couldn't steal her light. And before Adam ate, I did the same thing for Adam. I switched out his spirit to the fallen duplicate line, so when she gave him the fruit to taste, he stayed pure as well, because the original never fell. So by her and him tasting the fruit together with someone that wasn't her or his rib, that is how sin entered the world. And that is why it was the forbidden fruit. But don't you see, the bad seed had to be born, and in order for it to be born, I had to put the fallen seed on top of the fallen duplicates of Adam by using the double inheritance spirit to create the fallen seed. And that is why forbidden fruit was sex, who wasn't your soulmate, and that is what adultery truly means. It's sleeping with someone who is not your rib and was not created for you. You see, I'm showing you a pattern here of true soulmates being your rib, and if you are with them intimately and they are not your rib, then they are forbidden fruit. And that was the end of that message. I love you. May the Lord bless and keep you and your families and give you his peace, love, and blessings. God bless.